300 years under Spanish colonial rule, strong Catholic beliefs, and a love for fiestas, food, and family. If you think I'm talking about the Philippines, think again. Though separated by a vast ocean, our shared history and heritage makes us hermanos. Join us as we explore the vibrant colors and culture of Mexico. In 1521, Spanish conquistadors captured the capital city of the Aztec Empire after hard-fought battles between both sides. A few years prior, Hernan Cortes and his men arrived in the banks of an imperial metropolis with a network of canals and aqueducts, palaces, and pyramids. They saw a carefully planned and wealthy city of 200,000 people, with gardens and agricultural land that supported its population. The land is now present-day Mexico City, capital of Mexico. For over 300 years, Mexico would be under Spanish rule as Nueva España, bringing Christianity and European influence to the country. Running a parallel history with the Philippines, the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade in 1565 allowed for the exchange of people, culture, and goods between our ports. Today, I'm walking around Mexico City to understand more of its long history.
This is Avenida Madero, one of the first streets that the Spaniards built over the Aztec ruins.
Avenida Madero became a significant and busy street throughout Mexican history. Today, the walking street, named after Francisco Madero, one of Mexico's former presidents, features prominent national figures alongside heritage churches, buildings, and shops. The street leads to the historic heart of Mexico City, its expansive plaza.
This is the Zocalo, the main square of the city. It used to be the ceremonial center of the Aztec city Tenochtitlan.
Since Aztec times, the Zocalo has been a gathering place for public events and a seat of administrative and spiritual power. Within the square is the Palacio Nacional, the official residence of the President of Mexico. It was built over the palace of Moctezuma II, the reigning Aztec emperor during the Spanish conquest. The Metropolitan Cathedral, dedicated to the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, was likewise built over a sacred site of the Aztecs. Constructed over a period of 250 years, it has seen many events in history and has gone through many architectural styles. What is interesting is that despite the deep-seated Christianity in Mexican culture, early Mesoamerican influence is very much present even today. Just outside the cathedral, elaborately dressed Aztec shamans offer La Limpia, or a spiritual cleansing ritual.
What does it do?
This is for eliminate the bad energies, okay?
So better energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Relax, okay?
Okay. I can smell incense.
Yeah. The name of the incense is Copal.
Opal.
The practice aims to rebalance one's energy, making use of aromatic herbs, stones, and other natural materials that connects one to Mother Earth for protection and healing.
Smell, please. Again. One more. Okay, now your hands, please. Take it, okay?
Yes.
Close your eyes again.
Okay.
With the bad energies expelled from my body, the sensory experience is completed with a massage that puts your mind and body in a state of calm.
Okay. This is good. Wow.
Awakened by the sound of a jaguar, I was once again alert, but now feeling relaxed.
Now smell, okay?
Yep. Good.
Now pull in your head, in your neck, in your body, in your arms, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
One might think that the practice of limpia is only a show for tourists. But in fact, locals would also line up and get their regular dose of spiritual cleansing amid going about their daily lives. A few steps away from the Zocalo are the ruins of a bigger Aztec spiritual center known as the Templo Mayor. On this site stood a magnificent pyramid structure dedicated to two Aztec gods. Successively constructed over centuries, with newer temples built over older ones. The pyramid and shrines rose to 200 feet in height. For the Aztecs, the site is the center of the universe, and thus the religious epicenter of the entire Aztec Empire. Today, this area continues to be the heart of modern-day Mexico, where age-old traditions coexist. Up next, I get to know more of Mexico City through its most iconic flavors and traditional crafts bursting with color. Mexican food is quite familiar to most people, but what we know may be limited to the tortillas, beans, and spicy salsas served everywhere around the world. Traditional Mexican cuisine is mainly influenced by three cultures: the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Spaniards. Mexican cuisine is actually very distinctive, that it has been inscribed as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage. Today, I am in the Centro Histórico, in one of the city's most iconic and busiest restaurants, El Cardenal. First opened in 1969, the family-owned restaurant is housed in a beautiful 20th century building. It's renowned for serving a good variety of high-quality Mexican dishes from all over the country.
I am in a traditional Mexican breakfast place, and we'll try all these Mexican dishes. Sounds familiar, but I'm sure it tastes different from what we have at home.
Breakfast here typically begins with a generous serving of hot chocolate, whisked tableside with a wooden molinillo, also known as a baterol back home. Chocolate was first discovered by the Olmec people and then used as medicine by the Mayans, who regarded it as a gift of the gods.
Muy bien.
It is served with European-style pastries. My first dish is a Spanish omelette with escamoles. What look like white pine nuts are actually ant larvae, a delicacy in Aztec times. They are often called Mexican caviar, owing to its high price and the difficulty of farming the eggs of these species of tree ant. It is mixed with cactus pads or nopales and green chilies.
I will try this.
The flavor of the ant larvae is buttery and nutty and is actually quite tasty. Next up is a more familiar dish, huevos revueltos con longaniza, or scrambled egg with longaniza. As in the Philippines, the Spanish brought here the practice of making sausages. The Mayans also invented corn tortillas, which are a staple until now. It is served any time of the day to accompany a meal.
Let me taste first what this is. Maybe it's too spicy. I think they can notice I'm not Mexican. I don't know how to hold with the longaniza. It's good. Perfect.
With just one breakfast meal in El Cardinal, you can find all three major influences in Mexican cuisine. A very filling history lesson indeed. Another family business that has achieved cult status in Mexican society is known for its blue and white paper boxes.
I'm here in Pasteleria Ideal, one of the best.
Every day, crowds of Mexicans from all walks of life enter its door, tongs and trays in hand, choosing among tables and shelves of over 300 kinds of baked goods and desserts.
Everything looks interesting. I can't decide what I like. Chocolate sounds good. When you see so many, it's hard to choose. Oh, this one looks interesting. Looks like a fish.
It's fascinating that in a land where corn is the foundation of the cuisine, bread and pastries also found favor. Wheat was brought in from the Old World, and with it, European baking traditions. Ideal has been in continuous operation for close to 100 years. The secret of their longevity? The commitment to legacy and tradition by keeping their classic and consistent offerings throughout the years. Food is not the only distinct expression of Mexican culture and history. It is also most evident in their art. I visited what is possibly the most colorful place in Mexico City.
Mexico's vibrant and unique culture can be seen at the local crafts here at the Mercado Artesania.
Originally opened during the 1968 Olympics, the market showcases handicrafts items from all 32 states of the country. Here, you can find all manner of handmade crafts, from pottery, textile, beaded figures, and wooden sculptures. all made with an explosion of colors. But why is Mexican folk art so colorful? Well, with an abundance of metals, plants, insects, and minerals that produce naturally occurring dyes, their ancient culture have long experimented with colors. Walking around, you see the prominence of the calacas and calaveras, skulls and skeletons, used as decorations for the Day of the Dead, but have also become synonymous with Mexican culture. Some scholars say this imagery can be traced back to the Mayan and Aztec art, and combined with Christian beliefs of the afterlife, resulted in this unique cultural symbol. Skulls are colorfully decorated, and skeletons are depicted wearing everyday clothing and doing everyday activities. In Mexican culture, death is treated with familiarity and making peace with its eventuality. Dead loved ones are honored and are welcome to visit the living. Here, life and indeed even death is colorful. Up next, I venture further out of Mexico City and further back in time to one of the most important and grandest monuments in ancient Mesoamerica, the mysterious city of Teotihuacan. Mexico City today may be a thriving, modern metropolis, but its ancient past lives on. Before the Spanish conquest, the Aztecs were the last great culture of Mesoamerica. Their empire stretching from Mexico to Guatemala, facing both the Pacific and the Atlantic. I made my way some 25 miles northwest of Mexico City to a valley where 700 years ago, some Aztec warriors made an incredible discovery. Massive pyramids and the ruins of a highly organized ancient city, now abandoned. They thought that surely a place of this magnitude can only be made by supreme beings. Hence, they named it Teotihuacan, the city of the gods.
At its peak, Teotihuacan was estimated to have a population of more than 200,000 people, making it one of the biggest cities in the world.
The metropolis was a mystery even to the Aztecs. Who were the people who lived here? What language did they speak? Their story was told mainly through their architecture. The Aztecs tried to interpret what they saw and name the structures they found. The three enormous pyramids were connected by a wide and long central road called the Avenue of the Dead, as the buildings lining it were mistaken as tombs. These are actually residential complexes, and there are about 2,000 of them. The Pyramid of the Sun to the east, rising over 200 feet, is the third largest in the world. It is unclear who or what the pyramid commemorates, but we know that it was built over a cave which in Mesoamerican culture represents fertility. Towards the north end is the striking Pyramid of the Moon. Made more imposing as it is perfectly framed by the Cerro Gordo, an extinct volcano. Whoever built Teotihuacan carefully considered how these monuments mirror the natural environment around them. The avenue leads to the Ciudadela, a large open space believed to be a marketplace. Climbing the pyramids of Teotihuacan is no longer permitted, except for the steep access which leads to its most magnificent temple. "260 stone heads decorate this pyramid dedicated to the feathered serpent god, known by its Aztec name Quetzalcoatl. The other figure is the god Tlaloc, god of rain and warfare. The eyes of each figure would have been inlaid with obsidian glass, making them glimmer. Evidence suggests that all the buildings and pyramids here used to be brightly painted, so the city would have been such a vibrant sight. We see some remnants of these pigments in the many paintings found throughout the site, like the mural of the jaguar that decorated one of the residential apartments. Another well-preserved example is the courtyard of the Palace of the Feathered Butterflies. Its red pigmentation still standing out. Surrounding it are ornately carved pillars showing bird-like creatures inlaid with glittering stones. After more than a century of archaeological work, Teotihuacan continues to yield many discoveries. We know that these pyramids differ from the Egyptian pyramids in that they are not tombs but temples. The bones dug underneath suggest that human and animal sacrifices were offered as the temples were being built. Close investigation also concluded that Teotihuacan was a multi-ethnic city with settlers coming from different parts of Mesoamerica. But a lot of questions also remain. Why was there no fortification around the city? No traces of walls or ramparts could be found anywhere. Also missing are a written alphabet and images of any rulers that can give a clue as to who the city's builders were. All we know is that this well-organized, culturally rich, and cosmopolitan city was way ahead of its time and is one of the most enduring mysteries of Mexico. Exploring Mexico City offered a series of dichotomies, flavors, strange and familiar, monuments, recent and ancient, the old world and the new. It's being in two places and two ages at once, both enduring and always colorful.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari.